Ahoy, mateys! We all know about pirates, the swashbuckling rogues of the high seas, stealing treasure and causing chaos. But did you know there are some shocking facts about pirates that will completely change the way you think about them? Grab your compass and hold onto your hats, because today we're diving into the world of pirates. 1. Pirates weren't always the villains. First off, let's clear up a misconception. We've all seen pirates portrayed as bloodthirsty criminals, but did you know that many pirates were actually seen as heroes? During the golden age of piracy, especially in the Caribbean, pirates were often admired for their rebellion against oppressive empires like the British and Spanish. Many pirates were former sailors who turned to piracy after being mistreated by the Navy or merchant ships. Some pirates even had a code, a set of rules they followed to ensure fairness and equality aboard their ships. But here's the twist: pirates were also incredibly democratic. Some ships had a pirate captain, but the crew could vote on important decisions, including whether to attack or not. In fact, the famous pirate Bartholomew Roberts had a rule that if the crew didn't like a particular pirate captain, they could replace them on the spot. 2. Pirate women were real and dangerous. Next up, let's bust a myth about women in piracy. You might think that pirates were mostly male, but women were no strangers to the pirate life. Some even rose to infamous status. One of the most notorious female pirates was Anne Bonny, who was as ruthless as she was clever. Disguised as a man, she sailed alongside her lover, Calico Jack Rackham, and terrorized the Caribbean. But what's even crazier, she fought alongside the men and was known for her fierce temper and ability to wield a sword. Another infamous pirate woman was Mary Read, who, like Bonny, dressed as a man to avoid detection. Mary had a reputation for being one of the deadliest pirates of her time. The two women were eventually captured together, both dressed as men, and the authorities were shocked to learn they were actually women. Anne Bonny managed to escape her execution by claiming she was pregnant, but poor Mary Read didn't live long enough to make it out of prison. 3. Pirate treasure might be a myth. Now let's talk treasure. You know the trope: pirates burying their loot on remote islands and leaving behind treasure maps marked with an X. It's a romantic image, but it's more fiction than fact. In reality, pirates were far more interested in spending their loot immediately rather than hiding it for future generations to find. The idea of pirates burying treasure was mostly popularized by Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island. In fact, the idea of a pirate's treasure map was pure Hollywood fantasy. Most pirates spent their earnings on food, drink, and gambling as soon as they could. The only treasure they were likely to leave behind was a pile of empty rum bottles and perhaps a few gold doubloons spent in the local tavern. 4. The shocking truth about pirate flags. You've seen the iconic Jolly Roger, the skull and crossbones flag that signals doom and despair for any ship unlucky enough to cross its path. But did you know there were actually different types of pirate flags? The design of a pirate's flag was a tactical weapon in itself. Pirates used their flags to intimidate their targets and strike fear into them before they even engaged in battle. Some pirates, like the notorious Blackbeard, had a flag that depicted a skeleton holding a spear pointed at a heart. It was symbolizing that the crew would kill if their demands weren't met. The goal was simple: terror. They wanted to scare the merchant ship into surrendering without firing a shot. The Blackbeard, by the way, was a master of psychological warfare. Legend has it. 5. Pirates were actually quite hygienic. Here's another surprising pirate fact: pirates were actually pretty clean. Okay, so they weren't exactly using luxury soap or taking bubble baths, but pirate ships had strict rules about hygiene. The pirates' biggest enemy wasn't disease, it was scurvy. To prevent this, captains made sure their crew ate enough fruits and vegetables to get their vitamin C. Pirates knew that keeping their teeth clean was important too, so they had rudimentary toothbrushes made from wood or bristles. But as for regular bathing, well, that was still rare. I mean, it was just too much work, and and the ocean water didn't exactly smell like roses, but hey, pirates were all about practicality. So there you have it. Pirates weren't just the ruthless villains of Hollywood. They were complex, sometimes heroic, and often far more interesting than we give them credit for. From pirate women like Anne Bonny and Mary Read, to the surprising fact that many pirates were actually quite hygienic, there's a lot more to these seafaring outlaws than meets the eye. If you enjoyed learning these shocking pirate facts, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss more fascinating content about history, adventure, and everything in between.